everybody? My name is Zach, and today coming at you guys with the new series, CHL Nation. I have two guests, my co-host Funsley, and the GM of the Niagara Ice Hogs, Snake. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Go ahead, Snake. Introduce who you are, your past in media, and LG.
Hey guys, I'm Snake. I'm the GM of the Niagara Ice Dogs. I was the GM of Oshawa last year. I've been management in other leagues also. Won't delve too much into that. But I'm excited to be here with the media this year and to help LG get more known out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to introduce myself. My name is Funsley. You may know me from AHL Insider. It's a little thing that I used to do. No big deal. I mean, it was only the greatest thing in the history of LG media or any online hockey media. But
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question. When you said you were management in other leagues, do you mean like other sites or other leagues within this league?
No other sites.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well, we were in one league. It shut down 3 weeks into the season, 2 weeks into the season. Completely exploded.
Nice.
I've been in other leagues also, but nothing like LG. LG's
LG number one?
more organized, yeah.
Number one? Right. Very good.
Okay, my name is ZachHere. You may know me from 2 seasons ago. I did around the NHL, AHL, and CHL. I was a workhorse. I did a whole bunch of stuff in it. Wasn't the greatest, but now I'm back here with the show CHL Nation. A new logo, new intro, all this kind of stuff. And thanks to Funsley for helping me out with all that stuff, editing it, all that good stuff. So CHL Nation, pretty much the idea of this is basically CHL Nation, like our whole community. CHL, I mean, I've always said this about the CHL. It's this great community that you can't find anywhere else, the AHL or NHL. I mean, this community that we have in the CHL is just mind-blowing. So go ahead, Snake. I know you've been in the CHL for a little while. Talk about how important it is in the CHL.
CHL, I think, is extremely important, which is why I chose not to go up and try for management in AHL or NHL. I think that the development of prospects, players like myself who moved over from other leagues and didn't have a very good experience, try LG out, and I want them to have good management, good managers that are going to take prospects and make them want to re-sign right away.
And that's the big thing about the CHL. It is a little chaotic with people moving up, people coming in late. It's very hard to be a CHL GM when you got your best players get pulled up constantly. It's really hard. So one thing I want to stress, first off, thank you for doing it. Lord knows I wouldn't be able to do it, and a lot of people would decline to do CHL management. You choosing to do so, that's really cool. And just for everybody, make sure you have some patience. We're all here to play some hockey. We're all here to, if you're in the CHL because it's your first season, you're here to grow. Me personally, I've been in the AHL for 8 years in a row, a couple NHL ECUs and a little 3-week call-up and such. I'm in the CHL this season because I'm trying out a new position, which is one of the best things about the CHL. You can play any position you want. But in any event, we're here to either learn or get into the league. So in any event, make sure you're always patient. Make sure you're always conscientious. Be good teammates. Communicate, and we'll have some fun.
Or in the CHL because you're like me and I'm a scrub.
Some of you are scrubs. That's why I'm here because. Right wing, I'm a scrub right now, but I'm trying it out. Maybe some goalie, we'll see. What position do you play, Edward? Real quick, what position do you play?
Me? I play center this season. I played goalie last season. The reason I made the switch this season is I think goalie's a very focused position. You need a lot of focus, and with management and goaltending, I had a little trouble with that. I'm finding it much easier playing center this season.
Moving on from that, the CHL Commissioner and Bob's as long. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Moving on from that, the CHL Commissioner Brody and the CHL Bob's made a decision to change bidding into a draft. So, if this is completely new to us, we knew that the NHL had a draft for CHL prospects moving into the NHL. So basically, my thoughts. And your thoughts? Go ahead, Snake. What's your thoughts?
Well, it made it an interesting prospect. We were all we were all expecting the bidding, and the draft was a little bit last minute for us. We only had a couple of days to adjust our plans.
Are you only a couple days? Are you serious? When did you find out?
It wasn't very long, and
oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty quick, and I mean, you have to, with the CHL especially, you have to be used to switching things up pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
We adjusted for that, and the only thing I would say is the draft was really long. Just really long, with all the skipped picks, which was a lot of skipped picks.
So why were people skipping picks? Because, I mean, I think the second overall pick got skipped, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so what? And maybe they weren't online, maybe they're having trouble with their internet, whatever. But even later on into the later rounds, there'd be 15 picks in a row that no one picked. Why was that?
There were only, I believe it was seven general managers on at one point. We were pretty much all talking. Some were in a party, but we were all in the main chat box, and everybody else was gone, just gone to bed, or we'll let the random assignment sort the rest out. And so the 5 of us were just sitting waiting for
my God,
for the 5 minutes to expire, and the draft ended up being 14 hours. Chris called it off 4 rounds early at 9 a.m.
Why? So you guys were all on a party, or a Skype call. That's pretty cool. If it was run like that, I think that'd be pretty sweet to have everyone in a call. It'd be like an actual, like a fantasy football draft or a fantasy hockey draft or like a real draft.
It would also make things go a lot faster.
But if not everybody's there, that sounds like a pain in the butt, to be honest.
That's it.
Well, go ahead.
For some picks, there were 3 GMs that were in a row, so we'd wait the 5 minutes for each team that skipped their pick, and then the picks would be done in 2 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. And then we'd be set to wait that clock again until the next 2 would come, and then we're set waiting again. And it took a really long time. But I like the idea of a draft, but I think some little changes need to be made.
Like what? What changes did you make?
I think the picks need to be shorter, less time for the picks. And I think a good idea would be to have the GMs in a room, in a lobby. So you make sure somebody's there, a representative from the team's actually there, be it the GM or the AGM, and they switch back and forth, that's fine. But just to make sure that every team is properly represented and that it's done quickly. And
I think you said it best. I mean, it was really long. I mean, it went really late, and I got tired, and so whenever I was asleep, I got picked. So, I mean, it's down to it. If they make the pick shorter, I think it make it easier to watch because, people want to watch the whole draft. And if you want to watch the whole draft, I mean, staying up till 9 a.m. is not ideal.
No.
When did they start it? What time? Like 6 o'clock?
We started at 7 Eastern, and
you got started earlier.
Yeah, and it ended at 9 a.m. 4 rounds early. Tris said, "You know what? This is enough. We're going to stop and random the rest."
I think I'm not criticizing. I think it's also a great idea. I think it'd be awesome to watch a draft. I just think you got to start it at like 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Right.
And have it be all, or break it up into different days. Do like rounds 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10. If you're going to do the whole thing, you can't start at 6 o'clock at night. You just can't.
A lot of people like the idea of breaking it down over a weekend and having off periods to rest.
Yeah. Kind of like what the normal NHL draft does, where like the actual real life NHL, where like the first few rounds this day, then this day, then this day. I like that idea. That sounds really good.
Yeah, that was generally the consensus I found in the forums, and talking to people myself, they thought that would be a better idea.
Now, was the system where you would just verbally say the pick, or would you click it like you do in bidding, where you're actually on the website?
We were actually on the website to do the bidding.
Yeah, so I mean, it wouldn't be that complicated to do. I just started earlier, and I think it'd be awesome as far as just from a media perspective. I would go friggin' ham if they were doing like a draft. Like, I'm just thinking back. I'm trying to AHL bias. If I was in the AHL with my boys, ND and Krabby, and maybe I'll take Wonger, although he's an idiot. But if I was in there, we just covered the whole draft, like, because I love any kind of draft. I even watch the WNBA draft. I just love any kind of draft. I think it'd be cool, but they got to do it. They got to do it a little bit different way. But I think it's a great idea. I still think is successful, even though it was a trial run almost. If you guys had more time and they had anticipated certain things more, I think it would have been great. It still was good, but it could be a lot better. I think that's the way to do it now. Bidding's okay, but this is a lot cooler, and it's more even for teams. It gives new GMs a chance who might not know all the ins and outs of every individual player, know the hidden gems. I think it makes it a little more even.
Exactly, and I think that, well, that's how we get better, right? Trial and error.
Yeah, exactly.
So we tried this. There's ways to better it. We found what works and what didn't, and it'll be just that much better when we move to the one next season.
Exactly. So real quick, and we'll start transitioning out of this. How did you feel the draft process went for your team? Were you able to get all the players you wanted? How did you come into it? You only had a couple of days to prepare, but how did you prepare?
We did a lot of scouting. We did early scouting, so I find the teams did the scouting almost in two batches, the early teams and the late teams. By the week of the draft, I knew what we wanted to do already, so I was only doing callback lobbies at that point. We had a set plan, and we pretty much stuck to our set plan. A couple of pieces that got sniped, we weren't too happy about that, but other than that, we got the team we wanted. It's all about getting down to business now.
Real quick, I'd like to hear, as people watch this video, comment in the thread if you like the draft or not. What do you think of it? How could you change it? I don't know if it's really that fun for management, but for me as a player, I think it'd be friggin' awesome. So if you agree or disagree, let us know in the box, and then people will see what we say.
That's it. Well, the players seem to have liked it, except for the length. Management found it rough, but
yes.
I mean, that's management's job, right?
No, yeah,
Yeah, but I think the draft was a really a step in the right direction.
So moving on, after the draft... Oh, wait, you want to say something?
No, go ahead. You got it.
So moving on, after the draft we had the preseason, so basically run us down on how your preseason went and who do you think is going to be a good team and a bad team. Also, by the way, shout out to By Mercy and Grace for setting up that thread of the power rankings.
Yeah,
set up a lot. So go ahead, Snake.
Mercy did a really good job, so yeah, he deserves that shout out. We had a rough start to preseason. Keeping in mind we were trying out some things that we aren't going to do in the regular season, just to be ready for those inevitable no-shows, and because we all know the no-shows are never-ending in CHL. So we wanted to try the things that we might be doing later on in emergency situations, and we're going to be headed back in a better direction come the start of the season on Sunday.
I just want to say I did pull a no-show. I'm technically on a training camp roster right now, and I showed up at 8:35 for my game, and they started at 8:29, which I had never seen a game start like literally early before 8:30. But
yeah, I generally even if everybody's there, I don't start before the 30 point, just as a courtesy.
Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. I was late. That's cool. But that's what preseason's all about.
Okay, so now we're going to be transitioning into the two teams, the team that we think is good and the team that I think is bad since after the preseason. So go ahead, Snake. Go ahead and give us yours.
Well, I actually have three teams that I think were powerhouses in preseason. If they're able to carry it on into regular season, they're going to be forces to reckon with. The first is Oshawa. GM Pete Cruz and his new AGM KTB Killa. They seem to be running a tight ship. They've won, I believe, 6 of their preseason games. They went 6-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to Mercy's post, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of they're scoring a lot of goals, and KTB Killa, their AGM, is a big part of that. He's putting a lot of points up at center, and so that's really helping them. My second team is North Bay, obviously. Nazem Kadri was one of my picks from the get-go to build a really strong, competitive team. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. So. I mean, his record shows that he's one of the best. and Belleville, which was a little surprise for me because I don't know Belleville as well as I know maybe some other teams. So they had a good showing. They were 6-0-1. So I guess they have a game that doesn't have stats up yet. But yeah, they look strong so far. I think it's going to be out of those three, which has the best defensive core. Whoever has the best defense out of those three teams, I think will go the furthest. And we'll see who the GMs pick on their final roster come Sunday. I know some teams have put their final roster in, myself included. But some teams have yet to put theirs in, so we'll see what they do. But those teams look very strong. I think North Bay and Oshawa are going to do very well this season.
What's it?
Real quick.
What's a team?
Hold on, real quick. It's curious that in Mercy's post he did put Bellevue #1, but then said that the conference champs was going to be North Bay, and just also, I mean, it's only for the Eastern Conference or his power rankings. So that means two things. Western Conference, someone's got to find power rankings, you know. And the second thing is, we don't know a lot about a lot of these teams. It's only preseason, and like you said, the rosters aren't even finalized yet. So
he said he's going
to pick preseason champs, but you know, whatever.
He said he's going to post Western in a few hours.
Oh, he
But
is.
if you're watching this if you're watching this when it's uploaded, it's already been posted. So.
Okay. Well, so I mean, again, shout out for him. That's awesome that he's doing that. We need people to make content like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Snake, you neglected to tell us what your worst team you thought is.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's a good point. You caught me there, Zach. I think honestly Barry had a rough season. I know that's your team now, Zach.
Oh, kill him.
So
I just got traded an hour ago. You can't. I didn't know.
I can't blame you.
I wasn't a part of it.
I mean, maybe you can help them out. Let's hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't.
But they looked like they had a rough start. Our team didn't do so well in preseason, to be honest. A large part of that went out to the lines not being the lines we wanted to put out. We tried a lot of things that we weren't going to do in regular season, but we had a lot of no-shows, which is a big problem. And guys don't take preseason seriously. And preseason gives management a chance to see what you can do and if you're going to show up in regular season.
That's the biggest thing. Are you going to be someone who's reliable? And like you were just saying, it's tough to make lines if people aren't showing up. And then that makes it harder for the GM because maybe there's a line that works out there, but because certain people don't show up, they never get together. So this is still in flux. I don't think we really know what a team is in this league or any AHL, less so for the NHL, until like weeks 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah. Especially 4 and going forward, because then the lines are all set in, the trades have been made, the shuffling is over, and we could just start playing hockey, and every week will be better and better, hopefully, as the lines gel more. But the first couple weeks are going to be a hodgepodge.
Exactly. I think a lot of the teams that are low are going to go up in the rankings. A lot that didn't do very well in preseason. Saginaw's one. I mean, I think they're going to, just looking at their roster, let me get down to it here real quick. Their roster doesn't look terrible. I mean, they've definitely got some talent there, but they're another team that hasn't set their final roster yet. So who's to say what's going to happen there? There's a lot of new players coming into the league that nobody knows, and so that's something that we can't really talk about until, like you said, weeks 3, even I would say 4, because let these guys show what they can do. And
would you say there's more new players in this CHL season than last year or maybe the year before even?
No, I'd say about the same. I see I see a lot of veterans. I see a lot of veterans in the rosters. But as days go on, with the random assignments, we're getting more prospects coming in.
And then we'll still have call-ups. So, like, this has not even begun to shake out yet.
Exactly.
What's going to be interesting is that this is a short season. This season's only, 6 weeks? And then we got NHL 16 coming out.
Right.
So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how these teams get thrown together for a sprint, not necessarily a marathon. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it's about finding guys that can get to it quickly and just form with pretty much anybody, because
just go.
You got to hit the ground running, and it's not like last season where you have no shows, you have problems. you got a couple of weeks to sort it out before it gets really vital to get things down in order. This season, you got to get to it right quick, and I think once the rosters are set and everybody knows what the season's going to look like for their team, I think they'll get more serious. That's my hope, anyway.
Well, I got to tell you, as a guy who's in the CHL again for like basically the first time in a long time, I'm pumped. I'm excited about it. I signed up for the CHL on purpose. I signed up late on purpose. I want to give this a try. I want to see what it's about. So I'm excited. It's going to be complicated. I'm still on training camp, so who knows what's going to happen to me personally. But I'm interested to see how this season's going to go.
It should be a good season.
Hopefully it's a good season.
This season is going to be great, as all season long we're going to have content every single week on Sunday. We're going to try to get it out on Sunday. We're going to have to work through some things this weekend, but let's give a show for Snake4413 and Funsley. It's been your boy Zach here, and we're out. Peace.